everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up, and I want to begin first by thanking our latest Patreon supporter, Lauren Howe, who made a monthly contribution to the channel. So thank you, Lauren, and you'll be able to see all of the Patreon supporters at the end of every video from here on out during my end credit roll. I change those names every month to reflect the current active folks, so Lauren's name will show up on November 1st along with everyone else who is active. I'll talk more about Patreon a little bit later in the video. So I wanted to kick things off this week by talking about Amazon and their decision to sue 1,114 product reviewers who were advertising their services on Fiverr.com in exchange for a 5-star review on the Amazon platform. So basically somebody paid them $5 and that was $1 a star, and you could get a positive review on Amazon for that price. Now, I want to first say that Fiverr is actually a really good platform for mostly legitimate things. This was an illegitimate use, of course, but I use Fiverr for that really cool looping logo background you see over there. There's some great, very quick projects you can get done for not a lot of money on the platform, and I found it to be very helpful. So hopefully this doesn't reflect poorly on Fiverr moving forward, but hopefully they're going to be a little bit more careful about how they approach these things. But what's been happening is that these people are taking money and making shill reviews. Now, reviews are very important on Amazon, especially if you have a product that isn't very well known or is more of a commodity or something like that. So I get offers all the time from manufacturers overseas who are all selling the exact same thing with a different badge on it. So when you have a commodity product like that, the more 5-star reviews you can have next to your little buy box on the platform, the better you're going to do, which is why there is such a market for this. And Amazon is really cracking down here. And they're not going after Fiverr.com directly. They're actually going after these reviewers directly. So I'm sure they'll be compelling Fiverr to turn over the names of these people, and Amazon will then go after them directly. Now, how many of them are within the reach of Amazon's jurisdiction here in the United States? It remains to be seen, but they're sending a message that if you're taking money to write reviews on their platform, you will be sued. And I think it is a great thing, especially for those of us who take independent reviewing very seriously, as I do. So I'm a top 100 reviewer on the Amazon platform in addition to the work that I do here on YouTube. And I'm really happy to see them doing this because it really helps not only their platform, but also the integrity of those of us who take our work seriously. So this was a good thing for them to do. And in that context, I wanted to bring back something that I talked about a few months ago. So you remember I took a sponsorship from WD and I posted a video kind of explaining the mechanics of that and why I was doing it, and also the standards that I have set as a channel for how I conduct that kind of thing. And you can see that video linked above along with everything else we're talking about on the wrap-up this week. But I wanted to bring back this slide about Famebit. Now, Famebit is one of a couple of, actually probably 4 or 5 companies now that are going after YouTubers who are like about my channel size. And what they do is they come up to you and say, hey, we'll give you some money if you feature this product on your channel. Now, in the old days, that would be called advertising, but they're looking for more than that. They want a mention or a placement or something that's more native in its nature, so that it looks more like it's integrated into your content. And a few months ago, somebody from Famebit wrote in and said, hey, we'd love for you to review the Ring doorbell, and they were going to pay me $250 to review/mention Ring in my home. And I don't do reviews for money. It's kind of like my golden standard here. I just don't take money to do a review. And I wrote back and I said, hey, I don't do that kind of thing on this channel. I review products that are sent into the show or things that I buy, but I don't take compensation in addition to that because I don't guarantee a positive result. And when I told her that, she wrote back and said, thanks for your reply, but unfortunately for this campaign, the client would need a video with a positive review. And I think it really reflects poorly on Ring. They've been getting some pretty good press out there lately because they've gotten some good amount of venture capital behind them. And I've been eager to try their product, but I won't review it just because this was the practice they were employing to get some early buzz on their product when it was first released. And this is the kind of stuff that's going on out there. And I don't think there's going to be an entity like Amazon that's going to go out and sue all these people, you know, to kind of end the practice here on YouTube. And this hurts legitimate reviewers also, because if we've got 35 videos of paid people reviewing, quote unquote, this product out there without disclosing that this review is an advertisement, it's going to hurt the integrity of everyone, including the YouTube platform. And I don't think YouTube is going to do what Amazon did. Amazon has a very, pretty decent financial reason for going after these reviewers. YouTube doesn't, because YouTube's not selling stuff. But I wanted to point this out because this is not just limited to some independent operators on Fiverr. It's actually becoming an institutionalized thing out there. and a lot of MCNs now are kind of transitioning to this model, and I'm really concerned about it. So just keep your eyes out for this, and make sure that the reviewers that are getting compensated are disclosing that they are. And I try my best to really talk about exactly how things get to the channel, and how whatever sponsorships I might get, I will of course disclose in the course of those videos, but I never take money for reviews. So that was the big news from Amazon this week. And this week we looked at a bunch of stuff on the channel. We got in the Steam Link that I pre-ordered a while ago. This is a way to stream Steam games from your PC for only 50 bucks, and it works pretty well. So you can check out that review and see my thoughts on that. This one is awesome. This is the SanDisk Extreme 500. This is a portable SSD. I received it through the Amazon Vine program, incidentally, which is something that a lot of us top reviewers are in. This is an awesome product because it's a full-speed solid-state disk on a very small device that you can plug into your USB port. So I was actually editing video on the train on my way back from New York City this week. And it was great to have an SSD that was very lightweight and didn't have additional components or a hard drive attached to it, but it's pretty much as fast as a good mid to low-end SSD drive. So really quick device, very, very handy. You can check out that review too. And on Thursday night, I traveled out to New York City to an event called Get Geeked, which was taking place in Brooklyn. And I ran into Shai Gotin, who is the creator of the Power-Up 3.0. That was that paper airplane kit that you can control with your smartphone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video in the package that I have linked above, because that is my top video on the channel now, 750,000 views. And they have a new upgrade to that product, which is going to be announced as a Kickstarter very shortly. And this will now take that concept further, because they're going to put a camera on this thing, and you can control it with Google Cardboard in virtual reality. So it's a major upgrade of an already cool product. So I'm really eager to try this out. It really looks neat. They're partnering up with Parrot, who made the AR drone for this too. So it'll have some good technology built in, a nice blending of two different companies. And I got a quick one done this week on some bone conducting headphones that I was pretty impressed with. I'm never usually all that crazy about the sound out of bone conduction, but this actually, it's getting there. It's not perfect, but much better than some of the other ones I've looked at a year or two ago, so you can check out that review too. And we got a backpack for my DJI Phantom drone, which is a great way to store and transport your drone, so you can see that one in the group above there too. Just a brief bit of news beyond what we talked about at the outset here. If you have a Mac and you are a Steam subscriber and you bought the Steam Link and were disappointed that you couldn't stream games from your Mac, they are going to give you a little sorry gift, which is their complete collection of games from the past and in perpetuity into the future. I didn't even know they were doing this until I booted up Steam this morning, and all of a sudden I've got a bunch of new games. Apparently they saw I have a Mac, and they did this as an apology to all of their Mac users. So if you have a Mac and a Steam Link, I would suggest getting that Mac on Steam, and I think you might get some free games in your inbox, not only from what they've made all the way through their history, but apparently all the future games too. It's a $99 value that they just gave away to their customers as an apology, which was very nice of them to do. It's always nice when companies stand behind what they do, and that's a good example of that. So this week, I'm going to stop giving you a preview of what I've got coming up unless it's something really cool, because what happens is I have a whole plan set for what I'm going to do for the week, and then something cool comes in, it knocks everything out of contention. So that poor Kensington dock that I've had on the list now for the last month got bumped like 5 times because we got the Steam Link and the Chromecast and all this other stuff. So I'm going to get to that stuff when I get to it. I'm only going to tell you about cool stuff or notable things, but I did want to bring back this Walmart tablet. It's been a disaster. And I'm going to be posting a review that's mostly just about customer service and product reviews. Not from Walmart. Walmart was actually fine in this issue, but the manufacturer of this tablet, Ematic, has horrible customer service. And when I upgraded this thing to Windows 10, the touchpad, the thing you need to actually control the device, the touchscreen, became completely unusable, and they cannot direct me to where I can get a driver to fix it. So there's going to be a lot of disappointed people who bought this thing for 60 bucks and will have pretty much an unusable device without having to plug in a bunch of stuff they may not have in order to get it working again. So I'm going to be talking about that once Ematic eventually, hopefully, solves my problem. But right now I've got a tablet that is unusable, and their customer service, Ematic's customer service, stinks. And I think sometimes when you pay a little bit for something, you will get what you pay for, especially on the customer service side. We'll be covering that coming up in the week. I want to give them a little bit more time to resolve the issue, but we're closing in on 2 weeks now without even getting me a reply to my problem. So I'll cover that in more detail. If you want to help the channel, you can go to Lon.TV/Patreon and make a monthly contribution to the channel. I can also take one-time contributions at Lon.TV. I would love for viewer revenue to kind of fund the whole thing, because that would eliminate any need to have advertisers at all. I know that's not realistic, but one can hope. But these things do help the channel, because I do buy a lot of the low-cost items that I review here and then resell them and get a loss in that transaction. So those contributions are used to go towards those things, including even that lousy Walmart tablet. So your contribution actually not only helped me, but helped maybe others who may avoid suffering a similar fate I did on there. If you want to connect with the channel, you can do that on Lon.TV/email to get on our email list. We got our Facebook page at Lon.TV/Facebook, and of course our forums at Lon.TV/forums. That's going to do it for this week's weekly wrap-up. Thank you always for your thoughts and comments and ideas. Please keep them coming in the comment section below, and we'll see you again very soon. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. This channel is brought to you by the generosity of my Patreon supporters. If you find the channel helpful, you too can contribute for as little as $1 a month. Visit Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more.